You may have seen the recent rise of keyboard content from this channel, and no, I'm not making a big switch, pun not intended, but instead it piqued my interest when it comes to mechanical keyboards. Today you'll find a ton of keyboard options out there made for both beginners and pros. Two of the most targeted markets as well are typists and gamers. Now, I play a lot of games, but I am not in any way a professional gamer. Like 90% of you out there, I play games to enjoy them, so having a gaming keyboard is not a paramount requirement. I am more of a typist as I spend most of my time working, just like 90% of the world. However, the Lemokey L1 is apparently a gaming keyboard, and the first time I saw the images online, it looked very interesting, particularly because it has a knob switch and 4 custom buttons on the left hand side. But when I used it as my main keyboard, it was more of a gaming looking keyboard with a feature set made for productivity. So what gives? Why does this exist? To be honest with you, I'm not sure. Lemokey is a new gaming brand under Keychron, probably the most popular Mac keyboard maker in the world. And according to the company, it's a brand devoted to creating more customized premium keyboards and peripherals with endless possibilities. While the L1 is indeed a customized keyboard as you can get it fully assembled or just a barebone knob, not to mention the tools included in the box to start disassembling it, as well as the detailed instructions provided on their website from software to the hardware, I don't see gaming features that gamers actually found useful, like rapid trigger or customizable actuation points, especially for the price of 214 US dollars or 11,990 pesos here in the Philippines officially. However, I think there are a few of you out there who might like this. So let's start with the options you get. Lemokey L1 is available in carbon black, which we have here, as well as in navy blue and space silver. The available switches are Gathering Jupiter Red, Jupiter Brown, and Jupiter Banana. If you're wondering what the difference is between the three, here they are. As far as sound goes, have a listen. They sound good for a gaming keyboard, but they're not the best. If you're looking for that thocky sound, you're not going to get that here. However, every key press is satisfying when you're playing games. Aside from the sound itself, I noticed the keys bounce back almost immediately. This makes for a swift and responsive gaming experience when you have to smash that key, just like when I played Callisto Protocol. Every button mash felt like it was registered. I think the reason behind it is mostly because of the double stage spring design of Keychron, but when it comes to typing, if you're like me and you're coming from soft, linear switches, the L1 will take some getting used to. The keys require more force to actuate, affecting typing accuracy, just like how my monkey type test went from 110 to 90 words per minute. I did manage to get used to it after a week or two, but that's the thing. There is a learning curve, and it's not a comfortable typing experience for extended sessions. The L1 comes with hot swappable 3 5-pin switches, so aside from Gateron, it also supports Cherry MX and Panda among others. It has south-facing RGB LEDs like other new keyboards. The double-shot PBT keycaps are not transparent, but Lemokey claims they are durable, anti-oil, and wear-resistant for retaining their aesthetics even after long-term use. Only time will tell though. Another worth noting is the layout. There's nothing wrong with 75% per se, but because you have this extra space on the left side for the knob and buttons, more often than not, you're going to hit the custom buttons when reaching for the control key or whichever of the keys that are on the leftmost side. Again, it took me a week to get used to it. I personally don't mind getting used to the volume knob on the left side despite getting used to the right volume knobs for my past keyboards. I do see the advantage of the custom keys since if you map this to a certain action in a game, it's a lot easier to reach. This might be a convenient feature for mobile players, but outside gaming, it's also a neat productivity feature since you have 4 layers to customize using VIA or Lemokey Launcher. The launcher is basically a reskinned VIA, so I suggest using that instead since it looks better in my opinion. The metal volume knob feels great and has tiny increments when adjusting the volume level. Although you can remap its functions in the software, you have to look for the specific QMK keycodes, which is another Google search if you want to see the entire list. But if you read the manual included in the box, there is a decent number for what you need it for. And yes, that lever is your switch between wired, dongle, and Bluetooth modes, although the 1000 Hz polling rate is only supported via dongle as per usual. Also, it's nice to get a free USB-C to USB-A extension in the box to ensure the dongle and the receiver have the best signal coverage. In the box, you also get these free keycaps to customize, which is another neat addition. But as far as the design of the L1 goes, I do like the carbon black. It's a full CNC machined aluminum base with edgy design cues all around. Although you're missing an adjustable typing angle once again, the feel once you have it in your hand is premium. However, at 1.8 kilograms, this is a heavy keyboard. Lemokey claims the 4000 mAh cell can last up to 100 hours in low brightness, or 4 days of continuous use, and I must say, I'm impressed with the battery life. I get at least a week before I need to charge, which is great for a keyboard and battery of this size because charging via USB-C requires 5 hours due to the slow 5 watt limit. For someone who does not have the patience to memorize all my keyboard shortcuts, I wish the quick guide in the box included all the functions like other manufacturers. Here, you only get how to adjust the brightness, disable the 6-key rollover, and perform a factory reset. For example, the software supports mapping the battery level of the keyboard, but in practice, it doesn't work, so it makes you wonder whether that feature is actually supported or not. With all that being said, the Lemokey L1 feels like it has an identity crisis. It's no cheap keyboard for the price, and I will leave the links below if you're interested in buying one, but if I'm going to spend that price, I want a keyboard that's made for a specific use because I know I'm getting most, if not all, the features I need. The L1 is not a gaming keyboard, but it's a damn great one for productivity. That's it for this one. Drop a sub or like if you feel like supporting the channel, and as always, until the next one, stay safe.